Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about all of my favorite brushes. Now, I have been waiting for this video because, as many of you know, MAC has changed their brushes to all synthetic. And a lot of my favorite brushes that I used on a daily basis came from MAC. So I felt like I kind of had to replace some of those, try some new things. And a lot of people have been asking for, brands that maybe aren't that expensive. So I do have all the way from luxury to some more affordable in this video. And these aren't just brushes that I'm throwing in here so that you guys can be like, oh, well, this is more affordable, that's great, and go get them. I have actually been using these, loving these, and I would recommend them. Every brush in this collection of brushes that I'm going to show you, I know, I love, and I use all the time. The newest brushes to this collection are my Zoeva ones, so I haven't had those a tremendous amount of time, but I have fallen in love with the brushes that I'm going to talk about. So I decided that they had to go in this video. I'm going to start off with my higher end brushes and then go from there. We're going straight into Tom Ford. I will have the price and name of every brush listed down below for you guys. The very first one is the bronzer brush from Tom Ford. I have two of these. Now I love this brush, but I love it the most for what it's intended for, which is bronzer. I feel like you get such a diffused, beautiful blend with this brush. It's super soft. It's dense enough without being like overly dense. I also like this one to buff at the end of my powder routine. However, I like it the most for bronzer. I haven't been using it that much recently, and that's just because my hair, I feel like I have to be very, very precise so I don't get bronzer all in my hair and it turn orange. But the brush quality is like, this is one of the most favorite, most loved brushes in my collection. The other two Tom Ford brushes are eye brushes. The first one, I feel like I need 5 more of these. And if I think I'm going to do that, I probably need to do it soon. They are as well going synthetic, but I don't know when. They've just said it. This one is the number 13. I love this as a crease brush. It is so soft. It blends effortlessly. These brushes I have been told are comparable to Hakuhodo, and I'm definitely going to get my hands on some of those this year, but I have not done it yet. And then the other one is the number 11. I like this for the crease a little bit, but I really love this brush to put lid color on it and diffuse it out, especially his cream shadows and the Chanel one. Sorry, I'm like getting excited. I love to pack it on and pack it on the lid and be able to also blend it out with the same exact brush. Tom Ford natural hair brushes are amazing. How many times have you seen this brush in my videos? This is the Mer The Powder Brush. This is my favorite brush for all over powder. You certainly could use this for bronzer or whatever you like. This brush is dedicated to my buffing technique at the end of my powder routine. I take this and my Sicily powder and I just go all over. It diffuses it. It's not too much. It's not too little. And it's so soft. I've had this for a long time and it is still just as soft today as the day I got it. This brush was actually gifted to me. I'll never forget that. It was the sweetest thing ever. One of my subscribers sent it to me. It was so sweet. But this is the Goss 00 brush. It also comes in black. I obviously have the white one. Again, very, very soft. I love this personally for bronzer as well as the Chanel one. These are very, very similar. The Chanel one is a little less tapered, but still like the same kind of effect. I love both of these for mostly for bronzer, or this one I like to add powder and then buff it out like my setting powder, but this one I pretty much only use for bronzer, and this Chanel one is called the powder brush. I'm going to go into my foundation brushes. I have 3 favorites for foundation. The first one, I have to pull this out just whenever I specifically want this brush, but it has always been one of my favorite foundation brushes. This is the Marc Jacobs The Face 2. It has this angle to it. There's been a lot of dupes for this. I have not tried any of them because I have one. I don't feel like I need to go buy another one, but I love this. It puts on, what foundation did I love this with? I loved it with the YSL and any kind of tinted moisturizer. I really love using this brush for it. It's just beautiful. It's that paint style, and then you can like stipple it in as well. It's just really nice. And then of course, Artis, this brush amazing. It is so good. Which number are you? Number 7, I think. Yeah, Oval 7. This one looks airbrushed when you pop it on. Like, oh, so good. I highly recommend Artis brushes. Love them. And then my least expensive as far as my foundation brushes go is this one from MAC. This one was synthetic before. Don't believe that they changed this at all. And this is the number 170. This is my favorite style kabuki. It has that slight angle to it, and it's not flat. So it has a domedness, but not too domed. It's just perfect. Again, I love this for my real liquidy foundations and with my YSL All Hours. Just buffs into the skin really nicely. And then if I'm not going to use a brush, which most of the time I don't use a brush for my foundation, but I have my moments when I want them, these are my 2 favorite sponges ever. So this one is from L'Oreal. It's like $7 and you can get coupons for them. I have like 5 backups. I love this sponge. It's so soft. It's not as soft as the Beauty Blender, but like in a nice way. It's not stiff. It's just a little bit more dense and I like it a lot. And then this is my holy grail. My holy grail sponge. This is from Linda Hallberg Cosmetics. You can see it has a flat angle here. It has a place for you to hold your hand whenever you're doing your concealer. The tip of this gets the concealer so well, and then the butt of it I use to put on my foundation. And this one is comparable to the feel of a Beauty Blender, but again, I like it better. Headed back down the Wayne Goss road. Now the other brush, the 00, is a little bit more expensive, but these aren't as bad. This is a kit right here. One of them is dirty because I tried to not use any of the brushes I needed to, like my eye brushes, in the video I did, but this one just had to come out. So this is the kit. This is the eye set, and this is goat hair. I had his anniversary set, and I like the squirrel hair brushes. They're super soft, and I do use them sometimes, but I wouldn't call them favorites. If they were missing out of my collection, I might be a little sad, but not like I would with these. I highly recommend this. This set is $130, and that breaks down to $26 a brush. If I only had these brushes to do my eyes, I would be more than okay with it. The only thing I would be missing is something to pack on. But these are such great quality. This is the number 16, a great, nice crease, like diffused transition shade brush. And then the number 17, this one here, great for the crease and transition. And this one is what I like to call the 217 dupe. It's not exact, but it's close enough. It has that nice taperedness to it, and the shape is good. And this one is the 18, and then similar to the MAC 221, but not as long and just a little bit more hair there. And this is the number 19, and then this one, the number 20, is what I love to use to diffuse my under eye shadow. Love it. The whole kit is amazing. And then this is the number 2. It's very, very, very soft. I don't use this all the time, but I love this for contour. I love it if I were to use a brush to set underneath my eyes. It's great for a diffused highlighter. I actually used this one today for my blush because I used a teeny tiny blush and I needed to get in there. And this one is just what you can't go wrong with Wayne Goss, in my personal opinion. My MAC brushes. I don't have as many as I typically would have. This one right here is the MAC 242. They still make this brush. I still have not been able to see if it is different. I have been told it's different, but I don't know if it's different enough to make a difference. This is my favorite brush for adding anything metallic on the lid, a pigment, anything I need to have wet. This is the perfect brush. Let me know if you have seen the new 242, if it's different, if it's not as good, you know, all of the above. And then the MAC 212, I used it today. I love to use this to stamp or blend out eyeliner and then diffuse the lower lash line. It's just any brush this shape would really work though. This is a new love. And I wouldn't say like I'm obsessed with it, but I really like it and I've been using it, so I felt like I should put it in the video. I think this brush is better than the original, and this is the 224 Synthetic. I used this for my eyeshadow today. I like that it's a little stiffer. It's not as itchy scratchy as the original 224, and it doesn't disperse, like, you know, it just kind of goes everywhere like the normal 224. I like it. This one, I absolutely love this brush, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. Ever since I got my Bdellium Tools, I don't know that this is worth it. I love it. I love how soft it is. I love the shape of it. I love this brush. It's $42 and I've been using one from Bdellium that unless you just want this brush, I might actually say to go with the other one, but I do adore this. This is the 140S, and what I use this for, the only thing I use it for is to set my makeup. Obviously you could use it for several other things, but I truly enjoy the shape of this brush. Seeing as I just talked about that and was comparing it to another brush, I'm gonna go ahead and go out of order and go into this. This is the brush I'm talking about. It's similar to like the Wayne Goss and the Chanel. It has that taperedness to it. It comes to a tip, and it's synthetic, and it's the number 974. I've been using this all the time, and this is the golden triangle, so it has somewhere to grip, and I use this to put on my powder now. And for the price difference, I probably like this one a little bit better. And now with Bdellium, you can get them in kits and make it a little bit cheaper, or singles. With all the Bdellium brushes, I'm just going to add in the price of this single brush, and you can obviously go and look at the kits as well. I have 3 brushes from Nars. This number 42 is what I wanted the original MAC 224 to be. It's perfect, it's soft. I've had this for a very long time and it has stayed soft. It has the perfect amount of denseness and fluffiness. So I love using this as my transition brush. It's beautiful. And then I use this for the longest time. I do still use this, but I prefer now my Wayne Goss or the Bdellium. And this is the number 44, the contour. I always called it the pencil brush because that's how I used it. And the reason why I like this as a pencil brush is because it's not too pointed. Sometimes if I'm trying to put shadow underneath my eyes and it's too pointed, the shadow's not wet or something, it can kind of flick it places. And this one does not do that, and that's what I love about it. And then one of my favorite eyeliner brushes, the angled one. This is the number 47? Yeah, 47. This is one of the best angled liner brushes I have ever used. I have 3 random brushes here. These are just brushes that I don't have like multiples. This is Bobbi Brown, so I don't have several Bobbi Brown, you know what I mean? So this one is the full coverage touch-up brush. If you like to use a brush for your concealer, this is like the finger in a brush form. It's so good for that, but I like to use this for the concealer on my lid. So I will carve out my brows and do whatever, and I use my Tarte Shape Tape as my base now. It even works with the Soft Ochre Paint Pot as well, but I love to use this. I can get in this corner really well and add the coverage I need for where I'm a little bit blue here, and it just blends out so nicely. And then my Sigma fan brush, this is the F42. If I'm going to use a fan style brush, this is the one I like to use. I like this the most with the Hourglass little trio palette. That powder's really fine and it just glides on really well. I just like that brush a lot. And this one's from Royal and Langnickle. I actually want to try more of the natural hair brushes they have. When I went to go find some dupes for the MAC ones, all the ones I wanted to try were sold out, but it is something I want to consider buying in the future. This one is the BOM 40 Shader. This brush I like to use with my MAC Blanc type. It's what I always set my eyes with. And I take this because it's the perfect size to tap all over and set, and also diffuse underneath my brow. It's just a great brush all around, soft, it's just really nice. 3 Zoeva brushes. I love this brush right here. This is the 127, this is the Luxe series. This is what I've been using for my bronzer. It's nice. It's a nice size for me, able to get a good blend, but also not get it into my hair. It's very, very, very soft. It's what I was trying to find for the 168, the natural hair brush from MAC. It is a little bit bigger, and I think I actually like that a little bit more because the 168 almost was only for contour, and I like that I can use this one for my bronzer. And then these 2 brushes. This one I have absolutely fallen head over heels. I want 5 more. I love this brush, like very excited about this. This is the Zoeva 227. Again, trying to find a dupe for the 217. I can't say for certain, but I might like this brush more than the 217. What am I saying? I love this brush. It is so good. With my Makeup Forever shadows, I was having issues finding brushes that really were making it a little easier for them to blend out. This brush made it so much easier. I got such a nice blend out of it. I'm not kidding. I want 5 more of this brush. It is so good. And I really have been loving this one as well. It's the 234. Again, trying to find a dupe for the MAC 239. This one comes up to more of a tip. It is not nearly as dense. What I think of this as is like the 239 and 242 had a baby. I love this one for putting some the shimmer metallic shadows on the lid. If my 242 were to go away completely, I feel better knowing I have this brush. Miss Linda Hallberg, so she has sets as well, but these are my 4 favorites that I use the most. The first one is the 310. I use this for blush, and I like to use it for a soft contour. I love the way these brushes look. I think they are so elegant, and I love the orange to the brown. They are soft and they work really well. I love these. This one, you guys know, has become my favorite highlighter brush of all time. Love it so much, especially with that new gelée type of formula, like the new Anastasia highlighter and then the Dior ones. This one really gets into the product because they can almost turn to that hard pan or just not pick up enough, and this one does, and it melts it into the skin so beautifully. And this is the 306. 304, again, I love this to go into the crease. I especially love it with cream products because it moves it around. When I need to move her crayons around on my eye and get a good buff out of it, this one's perfect. All of her brushes are synthetic. I just think it works really well. And then I love her lip brush. I've actually put away my MAC lip brush and have only been using this one or my Bdellium, but mainly this one. This is the 301. I love a lip brush because I don't always want to use a lip liner, but I want a nice clean edge. Last but certainly not least are all my favorites from the Bdellium Tools line. You guys have been asking, okay, which ones are your favorites? Which ones do you recommend? These are the favorites that I use the most. So let's get into those. This one. Oh my gosh, I love this brush so much. It is so soft. This is great for powder, for bronzer, for blush, anything, because it's not too big and it's not too small. This is the 959 powder blending. Again, it's the golden triangle. I just love this brush. I love it for bronzer the most, but again, you can use it for so many different things. And by the way, I finally got that brush back from Kelsey. She was like, "Oh, I almost accidentally forgot it again." I was like, yeah, I see how that goes. The next one is the 787 Defined Large Taper Blending. I again like this for highlight when I want something just a little bit softer. Today, I used this brush with my highlighter to make it just a little bit more subdued. This one is not from the Golden Triangle line. This is the 938 Blending Concealer. I like this the same way that I like the Bobbi Brown one. Again, it's great for concealer if you want to use a brush. It's great on the lid. And I actually really like this brush for doing my nose contour. And these are all my favorite eye brushes. This one here, 785. Oh my gosh, this is the softest blending brush I own, and it stays soft. I have 2 of these. One I will use on my eye, and the other one, this is what I use to set my concealer every single day. I have powder in it right now. I take a little bit of powder and I will press it in underneath my eye and then go down my nose. The reason why I like this one is sometimes the natural hair brushes can get a little bit like prickly almost whenever they get too much powder or they've been used a few too many times. And this one does not do that. It remains soft and I love it for underneath my eyes. 776, again, nice and fluffy, nice and soft. I like this one kind of the same way that I liked my 217. I don't usually use this for my transition, but more so into my crease or if I need to take a shade and lightly go outside and blend the edges. This is a good brush. 774, this one's great for packing on color all over the lid, especially the matte shades. This one, the same, this is the 777. I probably prefer this one a little bit more over that. I did a smoky eye yesterday using the Tom Ford Cocoa Mirage Quad, and I used this. This is basically what I would replace the 239 with, just because I haven't found anything that really works for me, but this brush is not the same shape, but it does a great job for packing packing on, especially those matte shadows. I am in love with this teeny tiny little angled liner brush. This makes it so easy, especially when I don't want my wing to get too big. I want it nice and like real tucked in. So good. This is the 762, a small angle pencil brush we all need. Again, I love that this isn't too stiff and it's not too pointy. I just don't like it when they're too pointy unless I am specifically adding like a liner or something that's cream and it's not going to flick everywhere. I prefer something with a slightly more dome, slightly more give. And this one is the 780 pencil. This one's my favorite from the Bdellium underneath my eyes. This is the 781 crease. Wait, okay, 780 pencil and then 781 crease. This would be really great for definition in the crease, especially if you're doing something like a cut crease, but I particularly love this, again, underneath the eyes. And I use this one today. Can you tell? Again, MAC 239 vibes. This is the 773 shader. And this added my color so well. I love these brushes. I highly recommend them. I have not tried all the other lines from Bdellium, but the golden triangle I think is a definite huge hit. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed all of my favorite brushes. If you have any questions, please let me know down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.